Okay, hi, my friends. So this is Lou Martin. I have the great pleasure once again of being with two of my favorite humans, and that is Viivika Kalma and David Maria. And we're going to talk about life after the eclipse. And they have a great class coming up, a free class this Sunday, Transformational Alchemy. So welcome, Viivika and David.
Thank you so much, Lou, again. Thank you, dear brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. It's an absolute pleasure and a joy to be here with you again. As always.
Thank you, brother.
Always.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So great. So we were just chatting a little bit about Viivika had just come back from Glastonberry, and she was over there for the eclipse. Do you want to share any of that with all of us that love you both and follow you and want to learn more?
Nothing like being put on the spot, is there?
Yes.
So tell the story you were just mentioning, David, about the wells and Shasta.
One of the things that's wonderful about Glastonberry, in addition to just because it's the heart center of the earth of Gaia, one of the things that does make it as special as it is that the chalice well there, where the Vesica Pisces is, and you'll notice that she's wearing a Vesica Pisces over her heart.
Perfect.
Is that there is a masculine and a feminine stream. There's a feminine and a masculine stream, a red and a white stream. And there's only one other place in the world that we know of. There may be more, but not that I'm aware of or I've ever heard of. And that's here in Mount Shasta where I am. It's less than 10 miles from me. There maybe 11. I'm just laughing. It used to be a spring that was open with a bathhouse that you could go to and be able to soak in the waters. And for at least for right now, that's not possible. But the streams are still here.
Yes.
So
yes.
Energetically, Shasta and Glastonberry are connected through this phenomenally rare occurrence.
Yes. Well, they're two of the highest places I've ever been. I've been to Glastonberry for a week a few years ago, which was a great joy. But what I want to do is just remind folks. So David has been doing a class, which I've been involved in for the last year. And then Viivika has started to join the class, and the two of them will tell you their version of this story as well here, I have no doubt, have begun to be more and more deeply connected as two aspects of the same soul. And so now they're teaching their classes, David and Viivika's classes, together. And this is my third chat with them in recent times. So please look at the earlier videos, which are both quite powerful. But yeah, go ahead and take it away. Let's talk about the eclipse a little bit here, David, if you like. What's your feeling from what's happened since the eclipse?
Can I just make a comment on something you said? First of all,
yeah.
We are not two aspects of the same soul. We are the same soul.
Thank you.
I want to dispel wherever I can as many of the myths around twins being halves of each other. We're not halves of each other. We're both whole, and we also are. We are the same being. She is me, and I am her. And I know that may sound like a really subtle thing to want to speak about. Nonetheless, it's important. At least to me, and I feel to us, to her also.
Sure. No, I respect that. Yeah, thank you.
I also feel that this theory that there's two halves, that just hold like this separation still somehow, because we are one.
Right. Right.
We are definitely not separate from each other.
Right. Which is amazing. And you're the first people that I've ever experienced that with in this lifetime, which is so exciting.
There
We
will,
also.
and there will be many more.
I believe that too.
There's lots of souls that are here now that have incarnated recently, and they've never been here before. They've never come to Earth before. Earth has been way too dense for them to take incarnation into, and they are arriving now in let's just say, I'm going to use the word droves. They're arriving in large numbers, and many of them will be one soul beings.
Amazing.
If you look back into First Nation traditions here on in North America,
Yeah.
They speak of harukas, or two souls. It's two souls in the same body. And oftentimes that manifested in ways that we can easily imagine, that don't need to be gone into. That's not who we are. We're not two souls that are in the same body or anything like that. We are the same being. I can't explain it in any other words than this. It's if I had them, I would use them. But
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's just living in a science fiction story, you know.
Yeah, that's the reason why it's we are not like twin flames. It's like different, and we still discovering with David.
Right.
The depth of it we are. So there is a lot of discover.
Yes. Yes.
Whatever I discover within me that is arising, that needs to be felt and released, I can promise you absolutely that same energy is in her, identically.
Right.
It may be arising through an entirely different set of circumstances that may or may not have happened in her life or her incarnational stream, but the energetic component of it is identical.
So when I went to Glastonberry, then David was with me there. At the same time, I was also in Mount Shasta with him. So this is how we feel all the time.
Yes.
It's really lovely.
Yeah. And can you kind of, again, thank you. I appreciate the clarity, and I'm happy to learn how this is all working. Can you tell people how you discovered this really briefly, either of you? How this evolved for you to learn this?
Without telling the entire huge story, because we discover more and more and more about this, about us all the time.
As much as you like.
When I was called to go to Mount Kenya, or Mount Kiranaga in Kenya, in December of 2018, and I was initiated. I could spend an entire day talking about the dreams that called me to go there. But I was initiated while I was there. It was unexpected, both by me, I had no idea, but it was also unexpected by the seer that transmitted this initiation to me. But it was like being struck by lightning 5 or 6 times in just a few seconds. Just these thunderbolts of lightning flowing down into my body.
Amazing.
And like we told already in some videos, it's the same time, exactly the same time I was also initiated, but it was full body Kundalini energy awakening, and
I
yeah,
can't wait for the movie.
yeah. After that, I start receive different transmissions and downloads, and our connection was open with David, so we start to feel each other. But we didn't know at this point what it is. It manifested to me like deep longing, and I start to I start to search something, and I try to find something. So in this moment, I really didn't know what I tried to find, but then I just saw one of David's videos, and in this moment, when I saw that, I felt this extremely deep connection with David, and I recognize his voice. What is his soul signature also? My heart recognized that, and it was really deep experience in this moment. I just started to remember, and then I went to his class, and at one point we just start to communicate, and I start to describe my experiences and what I felt in class, and this deep connection with him. And at the same moment when David receives his transmissions, in exactly the same moment I received his transmissions, and I start to saw him in my meditations, and David as part of Monad. Sometimes I heard his voice. Monad connected me, and I heard David's voice, and it's different, many different experiences. And here we are right now.
Incredible. Wonderful. Thank you.
She came to the same freedom course that you came to, Lou.
Yeah.
And when that course began, I knew the names of all the people that were coming, but I didn't know who they were. And just like this, when I saw her on the screen, I didn't understand it, but I knew immediately that I loved her. And it was beyond my comprehension how much I loved her. Because at that moment, we didn't, neither of us knew that I know of at that moment. And after class, I spent quite a bit of time just sitting crying because I didn't understand, but my heart knew. And the class ended, and I invited her to come to the next class, the next course, as my guest.
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't understand who we were. Deep down inside of me, I knew that my heart would not be able to go through 3 months of not being able to at least see her once a week, even if we didn't speak at all, but at least I would see her. And it's during that class that she started telling me, writing me, saying that she was receiving the transmissions at the exact same moment. Not after they came to me, simultaneously.
Right. Were you a little surprised?
That's one way. That's one way. One way of putting it.
Mind blown.
That's a much better way.
Bless you. Well, you're both very blessed, my friends, and I'm blessed to know you and share this incredible experience here. Thank you.
Lou, we are so incredibly blessed. It's unbelievable how blessed we are. She has taught me in just a very short period of time more about love than I have learned or knew of in the rest of my life. I promise you this. She has the most beautiful heart that I have ever experienced. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that as a way of complimenting her or anything else. She has spent years cleaning her heart in order to connect fully and completely without filters
Now you got her going.
to Divine Mother.
Bless you.
And she's restored her original heart tone. And because of that, she can sing that tone. And it comes through her when she speaks light, but it really is coming through her now as she speaks words, as she becomes more and more comfortable speaking in public.
Beautiful.
I promise that the transformation in her is just, it's phenomenally magnificent.
Wow.
And I am so blessed to be in her presence.
I feel the same.
And
Wonderful.
I am so blessed, David, that you have been such a pure, perfect mirror for me, and I learned from you. And learned, it's maybe a correct word, but you really showed me who I truly am. And because of you, your purest heart, what I ever felt, I start to see and feel who I am, and it starts just opening up more and more within me. And this is what we do with David. We are this mirrors to each other.
Wow.
Literally, Lou, we are one heart. We are one heart. And that heart is only, it's yes, there is a personal aspect to it, but it's so far beyond that. It's the heart that we are is connected directly with the heart of creation, with our Creator. And that's where everything flows from.
Yeah. Wow.
And it is, I'm going to say it again, it is phenomenal just to be in her presence.
Your presence also.
Well, the love is just flowing. Hallelujah.
And
Is your presence also there?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it, sweetheart. Thank you.
we do this a lot, Luce.
Yes.
And oh by the way, you did ask.
Okay.
And this is not about words. Sometimes people say words, and this words is empty. But this is about really seeing who we are. And when we really see, we even don't need to use words, but we just see the other people, this divine perfection, this light within them. And they feel that. And this is really true transformation. And this is what David did for me, that he really saw me. He really saw me. And I felt this so deeply, and it's my reflection of myself, my life. And yeah.
Beautiful.
This is really beautiful.
Thank you. I feel
you know this from having been in multiple classes with me for quite a while now, that one of the gifts that I have, and we all have unique gifts, but one of the gifts that I carry is that I'm able to see the soul of a person. So in the context of a class that you're in attendance of, I can see your soul. I can feel your soul. I can hear the song that your soul is, as it is sung by you. And as a consequence, whenever I'm sharing something, whether it's with you directly or with somebody else, it is speaking to your soul, not to your personality.
Mm.
Your personality also receives it,
Mm-hmm.
but at a deeper level, it's your soul that hears what the transmission is. And that's what begins the process inside of you of remembering who you are.
Okay.
Is because I remember who you are. And this is not personal. Don't misunderstand me. This I'm not. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a very humble person. That I don't have any sense of self-importance in me at all. I know who I am, but that's different than feeling all puffed up about myself. Because there's nothing to be like that. Because the very first thing you learn is that every soul that you look at is just like me. There is no difference. We are all one being. And yes, I truly see her. And when I tell you that I see her, I mean that in the ultimate sense. I see who she truly is as a soul, as an incarnation of Divine Mother. I see her totality. I see her humanness. I see her soulness. I see her before she became a soul, which is rare. I don't see that in most, hardly at all, but I see it in her.
Wow.
And she reflects that to me.
Beautiful.
And when I very first time heard David's voice, I recognized in his voice this song, this my soul song.
Mm.
What David thought about that. I also started to cry, but it was so deeply connected to my heart.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful.
Remember,
Mercy.
this is what I refer to when I say that she has restored her original heart tone.
Mm.
She's remembered her song, and we all have one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful story about a village in Africa where if a couple wish to have a child, they lay together. They're not intimate physically. They lay together and they dream together. And in their dreaming, they call to the child. They may not even know who the child is, but they call to the child and let them know that that they want the child to come to them and take birth through them. And they know that they have met the child when both of them have heard and can sing to each other the song of the child's heart.
Yeah.
And then they share that with the matriarch of the tribe, whoever it is. Maybe it's also a shaman. And when the child is born, it is presented to the entire village because now the village has been taught the song of the child's heart. And the entire village sings the child's song to it, to express to it how grateful they are that the child has made the decision to come here, to be with them. And even later on, if the child loses guidance and falls off their path, the village will gather around them and sing its heart song to help them remember who they are.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Incredible wisdom.
And I feel this this, we can call that heart song or this heart tones, but this is different. This very, very, very unique frequency that connect our higher heart, this heart of the all creation, or this heart of Divine Mother. So it's really, really, really deep and unbreakable connection.
Yes. Yes.
And even though this is love, love is not enough to convey this. This is agape. This is divine love.
Mm.
This is remembering who you are as an emanation, as the unique emanation of God that you are.
Yeah.
Not a part of. You are the whole. You can think of God as being one soul if you wish, with a whole lot of fractals in there, because everybody is a unique emanation of the whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The wave is the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, and when your connection is restored, you start to feel all these different frequencies or different sounds of other hearts.
Yeah.
So you start to function like heart of all creation, and start to feel these other hearts, and start to remember also these heart tones, and you really start to see and feel other divine perfection.
And it is through remembering your original heart tone, even if you can't hear it.
Mm.
It doesn't really matter if you can't hear it. It doesn't matter if you can see it. It doesn't matter if you can feel it. It doesn't even matter if you can sense it or know it. But it's still there, and it is the awareness that it is even there, that there is an original heart tone, and that heart tone is the creator. That's the offering that Vivika and I are offering this weekend on Sunday as a free class. Is loving yourself into union. And it really is. It's not about human love. It's about remembering agape love, divine love, and remembering that heart song is there. And we're really excited about it because there's a whole bunch of new things, new tools that have come through that have probably always been there, but they've never really, shall we say, emerged to where they could be put into the context of a class. And,
Yeah, we start to remember them. We start to remember. Usually, how it happens, we're just meditating together with David, and it's start to open up. We start to remember.
Beautiful. Yeah.
and by the way, in this moment, there was a pretty strong M class 5 solar flare on the sun, which, as you know, the sun has been flaring just over. And we got a little bit of a pause, just a little bit of a break during the eclipse, and now it's beginning to pick up again.
Yes. Well, that's great to know. Would you like to talk, either of you, about your own experiences of the eclipse? What was that like for you?
Whatever everybody experienced during the eclipse, it's going to be unique to each person.
Yeah.
Because we're all at different places on our paths. We're all walking the path, but it just depends on where we are on that path, how far along are we. And for me, and I spoke of this fairly extensively before the eclipse.
Uh-huh.
It was an opportunity that was fulfilled to just let go, to just let God. It's exhausting to attempt to maintain yourself as a personality. It takes so much energy. For me, the body is a holographic projection of our consciousness. And
Right.
what that looks like is maintained through us, through our consciousness, and the energy that we expend on keeping it running. And that's the window that we want other people to see. That's how we imagine ourselves in public, the image that we wish to project for others to be able to see. And God, it's exhausting to maintain that. It's like the ultimate version of keeping up with the Joneses, which is what an incredible waste of time when we have a personality, but that's not who we are. Who we are is the soul that we are. And it doesn't require any propping up. It doesn't require any affectations. Doesn't require chasing something like a bigger home or a fancier car or anything on that order. It's not about that. It's not about falling into the trap of being here in the 3D world. So for me, it was this wonderful opportunity to let go of any of the remaining pieces that I might have been holding on to. And it has been a dramatic shift that has happened since then. Absolutely dramatic shift. I'm not gonna even attempt to speak to what Vivika experienced, but for me it was profoundly transformational.
Right. Beautiful. Do you want to say anything?
It's heart centers, recalibrations, and everything. It's new. And for me, also about releasing, also of course, but really deep dive into our hearts. Really deep diving. It's to our infinite heart, and for me, all about this divine mother energies usually.
Right.
And what is right now happening, and it's so beautiful to see how many beautiful hearts opened up in this.
Yeah.
So I felt and I saw that, and it's just amazing.
Yes.
So, and this was not about just individuals. It was not just about individuals remembering or going deeper or remembering deeper who they are. It was also an opportunity for everybody on the planet to be able to make a shift. And just like sometimes if we're driving on a big highway, like say a freeway, especially a freeway in one of the big cities around the world, as you're coming into the city, there will be lots of opportunities to get off the main freeway and go this way or that way. And maybe you discover that you're in an exit only lane, and it was going to take you, I'm just going to use some silly examples. It was going to send you into Death Valley, where it's sometimes 130, 140 degrees in the summer. And all of a sudden you wake up and go, no, that's not where I want to go. I want to go here, and you change lanes, and you course correct, you shift a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though I've said on many times, we're already on the train going to the place that we've already said that's where we want to go.
Mm.
And yet, in a moment like this, and we're still in that window. We'll be in that window for the rest of the month. So of the eclipse energies. So it's still possible if you start to have a remembrance, it's still possible to course correct, to turn a little bit to the left or to the right, depending upon where you happen to find yourself. It's still possible to make a complete and total change with what your life is. And there's nothing that stands in between you and being able to do that. Nothing. So that was also majorly present, and that's the very essence of the class that Viivika and I offered the day before, which was connecting to the still point in the heart of Gaia. But it was in the last minutes, it became much bigger than that. It wasn't just connecting to the still point in the heart of Gaia and creating a field to surround the earth so that there is a still point moment, so that everybody, no matter what choices they have been making in their live stream, they now have the opportunity to step into silence and let go. But it became much bigger than that. Because as you know, the eclipse happens during a new moon. And so it was connecting the still point in the heart of Gaia to the still point of that new moon, and also to the still point at the center of the eclipse, and also to the still point in the center of our sun and of our galaxy, and of all of the major galaxies that are connected directly to our galaxy that form a network. And even bigger, to be able to connect to the still point in the heart of this universe, which is only one of many universes. So all kinds of I use the analogy of a clock a lot, because there's all kinds of gears that are moving. Some are really tiny, some are bigger, and they all move in synchrony with each other. And every now and then, all of the gears line up, and it's, say, in the case of a clock, they all line up, and it's noon or midnight, and the clock begins to chime, because everything has come together in one moment. This was one of those moments. This was one of those moments when that still point in the entire universe lined up.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it still is. It still is.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was amazing to feel how this divine love flowing through the heart of Gaia, through all of connecting hearts, and we function as one. And it's amazing. And then this came, we all were together like this. We all were together, this heart of all creation. It was amazing experience.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, for me, it was very profound and powerful, like nothing I'd ever experienced before. I was with another teacher, Addie Lamborn, who was doing a group at that time, and we did 3 meditations together, and each of them was really amazing. And then the next day, like you and I had waved at each other, David, afterwards, and I had to take not 1 but 2 naps the next day because I was still trying to get back into my body. But what I also want to say is that, being outside of the States and observing this from the States, to see 30 million plus people in the path of the ecliptic, and people were proposing to each other and getting married and bursting into tears and bursting into joyous, shouts and applause. And what a great, as a friend of mine would say, what a great God shot. This was to America and those American hearts that were in the path of all that. So I think there was a great blessing for America, which was greatly welcomed, and for the world as well. Very powerful.
Yeah,
And as you say, it's ongoing. Yeah.
Take it global. And yes, it was being centered over the U.S. So the eclipse in 2017 that went from Oregon to, I think, West Virginia, that was a door, a gateway, a portal, if you will, opening. And this was the closure of that particular energy frequency. Unfortunately, it is still open. So just in the context of this moment, just take a moment, Lou, and your audience also. Close your eyes for just a second and feel how your heart go into your heart, and almost immediately you will feel yourself being pulled into the very center of Gaia's heart, into the very center. And it is absolutely still there. There is no movement. It's quiet. And then feel how that connects to the still point in the heart of our moon. And then the still point in the heart of our sun. And in the still point in the heart of our galaxy, the Milky Way or Alcyon. And then feel how that still point in the heart of Alcyon, feel how it is connected to all of the other galaxies that she is linked to, because every single star is a living being. And galaxies are collections of millions and millions and millions of other stars. And then go even deeper. Feel how there is a still point at the very heart of our universe, which is only one of trillions of universes. But this is the one that we're in now. And feel how all of those still points line up. And they flow into your heart, or to the heart of every single one of your listeners. In that stillness, no matter when it is, even as we measure time 50 years from now, you can feel into that, and you can let go. And you may find yourself just in stillness. You may discover that something else begins to flow into you from our Creator. You may sit in that stillness for quite a while. There's no way of knowing it. It is unique for each one of us. Sometimes we need to sit in that stillness and not do anything. Just be. Just be. And yet, when the moment is correct for you and for each individual, Source will begin to flow into you. Agape love from our Creator will begin to flow into you with something brand new. A new template, if you will, a new design for you. A new soul template,
you can also start to feel yourself as divine law, the purest expression of the source in the physical body. Isana ke tua ke me ke te kuana ke sana ka te hatana ke a. Mikina ke sunro me heta ka tuata ke me ke te ua ka sanra ke tuata me heta. Arama te rara ka sanra ke tu kimiki kuane heta ka sene kuake. Irene ke suana ki me hetu ata ka me ki wa shia sanra kata. And you feel also light blessings from the heart of all creation, from the heart of Mother. Isine kirana kuane ke tuku me hetaka. Irene sanra ke tu me ke shiwa sanra ketat. Amate kawa te ne sewa. Mikinia tutono kuma sewa kese. Katamaki washi. Blessings, dear heart.
Beautiful. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. Will we leave it there for the moment? That's a perfect finish to our time together, I think. So want to invite everyone to the class here for Sunday. That was just extraordinary. You see the depth of the love and the wisdom that pour through these two beautiful souls. Sunday, April 14th, 9 a.m. Pacific, Transformational Alchemy, Loving Yourself into Union. And it is a free offering, online Zoom meeting. And we'll post the information here with with the video. My love to you both. 1,000 thanks.
Love you so much, dear Lou. We love you so much.
Love you
And
too.
all of you. And all
Thank
of
you. Thank you. We're feeling it. All right, there you go, my friends. Perfect. David, Viivika, thank you so much. Peace and blessing.
Blessings.
Blessing.
Blessings.